Immortality. It's the elusive dream of eternal life which often brings with it the unforeseen burden of witnessing the relentless passage of time, and what you'll soon see in this story of a man losing everything he holds dear to the inevitable decay of time. In the late 18th century, archaeologist Jonathan Mercer was among the best in his field, known for his relentless pursuit of knowledge. While on an excavation in the deserts of Egypt, he stumbled upon a hidden chamber within a forgotten temple. In the center of the chamber lay a glowing amulet, intricately crafted and seemingly pulsing with life. Curious and captivated, Jonathan reached out and touched the artifact, feeling a strange energy surge through his body. Unbeknownst to him, this moment would alter his life forever, granting him the essence of immortality. Initially, Jonathan viewed his newfound immortality as a gift. He reveled in the idea of having endless time to explore the world, to uncover its secrets, and to share life with his beloved wife Elizabeth and their son Samuel. However, as years turned into decades, Jonathan realized the true nature of his gift. He watched in helpless agony as Elizabeth aged gracefully, her hair turning silver and her face etched with the marks of time. Despite their love, the disparity between them grew more apparent, and Elizabeth's mortality became an unavoidable reality. The pain reached its peak when Elizabeth passed away, leaving Jonathan to mourn his love of his life. His son Samuel, initially a source of comfort, soon became a reminder of his own agelessness. As Samuel aged and started a family of his own, Jonathan felt increasingly isolated. The final blow came when Samuel, frail and old, passed away, leaving behind grandchildren who looked upon Jonathan with a mix of awe and confusion. Unable to bear the repeated loss, Jonathan decided to sever ties with his past. He changed his name, left his family behind, and began to wander the earth aimlessly. He took on various jobs and identities, from a sailor on whaling ships to a soldier in wars across continents. Despite his immortality and the knowledge he accumulated, Jonathan felt a growing emptiness. He learned to blend in, moving frequently to avoid suspicion, and kept his distance from others to prevent forming attachments. The centuries weighed heavily on him, and the pain of losing his loved ones was a burden he carried in silence. With no purpose and no end in sight, Jonathan drifted through life, a shadow of the man he once was. In the 21st century, Jonathan, now going by the name Jack Thompson, finds himself in a busy city working as a construction worker. The job is physically demanding, but he keeps his mind occupied and allows him to blend into the background. However, one day a tragic accident occurred on site. A heavy crane malfunctioned, sending a massive steel beam crashing down. In the chaos, Jonathan instinctively pushes a colleague out of the way, taking the full brunt of the impact himself. His body is mangled beyond recognition, and he's declared dead on the spot. However, his body mysteriously disappears from the morgue, leaving authorities baffled. Unbeknownst to the public, a researcher named Dr. Evelyn Grant had been monitoring reports of unexplained disappearances and miraculous recoveries for years. Her research led her to believe in the existence of immortals, individuals who could regenerate and heal from any injury. The news of the missing body caught her attention, and she tracked down Jonathan, discovering him alive and fully healed, hiding in the city's underbelly. Intrigued and determined, she approaches him, proposing a partnership to study his unique condition and potentially unlock the secrets of immortality for the benefit of humanity. Jonathan, weary and jaded from centuries of isolation, refuses her offer. He knows the truth that immortality is not the gift she imagines. It is a curse, a relentless cycle of loss and grief. He explains that immortality means watching everyone you love grow old and die, leaving you alone in the unending existence. Dr. Grant, however, is persistent. She sees this discovery as a monumental breakthrough, a chance to change the course of human history. Seeing that reasoning won't sway him, Dr. Grant resorts to desperate measures. She tranquilizes Jonathan, rendering him unconscious, and has him transported to a secret facility owned by Victor Sterling, a multi-billionaire with a dangerous obsession with immortality. Sterling's wealth and influence have allowed him to conduct secret research, and Dr. Grant's findings are the key to his ultimate goal. Jonathan awakens in a high-tech cell, realizing he has become a prisoner in a place where science and greed intersect. Stripped of his freedom, he wonders how much longer he can endure the burden of his existence and what this new chapter of captivity will bring. Inside the secret facility, Jonathan is subjected to a battery of tests and examinations. He meets another prisoner, a woman named Emma, who shares his fate. Emma is a recent discovery, having only realized her immortality a month ago after surviving a fatal car accident without a scratch. Unlike Jonathan, she hasn't had centuries to come to terms with her condition. She's terrified and desperate to understand what's happening to her. As they spend time together, Jonathan begins to open up about his own life and the curse that immortality brings. Emma clings to the hope of seeing her family again, not fully grasping the implications of her newfound immortality. Jonathan, with a heavy heart, explains that while her loved ones will age and eventually die, she will remain unchanged. He shares his own painful experiences, recounting the slow and agonizing decline of his wife and the sorrow of losing his son. The emotional weight of these memories overwhelms him, and for the first time in centuries, Jonathan allows himself to be vulnerable. He confesses that no husband or father should ever have to endure watching their loved ones pass away, unable to age or die alongside them. The eternal life he once thought was a gift was becoming an unending nightmare. Emma, despite her fear, refuses to see their condition purely as a curse. She argues that they can still find meaning in their lives, that they can honor the memories of their loved ones and make new ones. Her optimism and courage offer a glimmer of hope to Jonathan, who has long been mired in despair. She comforts him, offering to share the burden of immortality with him. Emma's compassion and resilience begin to break through Jonathan's hardened exterior, and he finds himself wanting to protect her from the dark realities of their existence. Moved by her plea and her determination to escape, Jonathan agrees to help Emma find a way out of the facility. He knows that if they remain captives, they'll be subjected to endless experimentation, their lives dissected for the gain of a ruthless billionaire. For the first time in a long while, Jonathan feels a sense of purpose. He decides to use the skills and knowledge he has acquired over centuries to orchestrate their escape, knowing that they must destroy the facility's data to protect themselves and any others who might share their fate. Jonathan and Emma's escape plan begins to take shape. With Jonathan's extensive knowledge and combat skills, he devises a strategy to disable the facility's security systems and neutralize the guards. He has spent centuries honing in his abilities from martial arts to advanced technology, and now these skills are crucial for their survival. Emma, though inexperienced, is determined and eager to assist in any way she can. Jonathan teaches her how to navigate the facility's layout and handle basic self-defense, preparing her for the challenges they will face. The night of the escape, Jonathan and Emma make their move. Jonathan uses his immortality to take their advantage, deliberately injuring himself to create a distraction. As the guards and medical staff rush to contain the situation, Emma sneaks into the control room, following Jonathan's instructions to disable the security cameras and unlock the facility doors. With the alarms blaring and chaos ensuing, Jonathan quickly regenerates and joins Emma, their escape now full in motion. As they navigate the labyrinth's hallways, they encounter several guards. Jonathan's combat prowess is put to the test as he fights them off, using a blend of martial arts and quick thinking. Emma, though scared, manages to help, utilizing the basic training Jonathan provided. Together, they make their way to the facility's research wing, where all the data and experiments are stored. Emma is horrified to see the extent of the experiments conducted on other captives, both failed and successful attempts at replicating immortality. Determined to destroy the evidence, they set fire to the research wing, ensuring that all the data and experiments are reduced to ashes. As the fire spreads, they encounter Dr. Grant, who tries to stop them. She reveals that Sterling's research has uncovered historical records suggesting that there are more immortals like them, scattered across the world. She warns that Sterling will not stop at nothing to find them, believing that they are a part of a greater cause and a potential key to eternal power. Jonathan, however, remains resolute. He tells her that they have all the time in the world and can wait out Sterling's ambitions. The building is engulfed in flames as Jonathan and Emma make their way to the exit, leaving behind a trail of destruction and a facility in ruins. With the facility burning behind them, Jonathan and Emma escape into the night, disappearing into the vast anonymity of the world. They find refuge in a secluded cabin deep in the woods, far from the reach of Victor Sterling and his operatives. Cabin, abandoned and surrounded by nature, becomes their sanctuary. Here they begin a new chapter of their lives, away from the prying eyes of those who would exploit their immortality. As they settle into their new life, Jonathan takes on the role of a mentor to Emma. He teaches her the skills and knowledge he has accumulated over centuries, from survival techniques to the nuances of blending in with different cultures and societies. He warns her of the dangers of forming attachments, reminding her that everyone she knows and loves will eventually perish while she remains unchanged. Emma listens, but she refuses to let fear dictate her life. She believes that despite the inevitable losses, they can still make meaningful connections and honor the memories of those they love. As weeks turn into months, Jonathan and Emma grow closer. Jonathan, who has long been burdened by his isolation, finds solace in Emma's presence. Her resilience and optimism reignite a sense of hope within him, reminding him that there is still beauty in the world, even for someone who cannot die. Emma, in turn, learns to navigate her reality with courage and grace, determined to make the most of her endless life. One day, while researching their condition, Emma comes across ancient texts and artifacts hinting at a hidden lineage of immortals. Intrigued, she shares her findings with Jonathan, who recognizes some of the symbols and references from his own past. Determined to uncover the truth, Jonathan and Emma decide to embark on a journey to find other immortals like them and learn more about their origins. As they prepare to leave their sanctuary, they know they must remain vigilant, as Sterling and others like them will undoubtedly continue their pursuit. Together, they face an uncertain future bound by their shared fate and the promise of eternal life. The story underscores the theme of immortality and its impact on Jonathan through his experiences and his journey in life, emphasizing what may seem as a gift but instead a curse that highlights what makes life so special and the fleeting nature of time. On that note, that wraps up this story of the Aegis Wanderer. If you haven't already, I would appreciate it if you would like and subscribe. Also, leave a comment on any stories you want me to bring to life. But other than that, while this story may come to an end, the start of another begins.